Okay, Pantherbook is presenting a new podcast about The Bachelor with Avery, Katie, and Maddie. So, we're starting to recap the first 3 episodes.
Okay, let's kick this off with, after the rose last year, Brianna got America's rose.
Yeah, so
thoughts about that?
Well, basically, for those who didn't watch the episode, half of a third of the contestants were on this talk show, and they gave out America's first impression rose of who watched the talk show, and that Brianna got that one.
Yeah.
Okay. But Zach didn't really like her. That was the thing.
Yeah, I didn't watch that episode last year because when she walked in, I was like, oh, why does she already have a rose? I didn't love that she already walked in with one, if I'm being honest.
I mean, but then my thing is that the whole entire episode, every single time the camera went to her, she was like, oh, well, I got America's approval, but I didn't get Zach's approval. I'm like, how many people actually voted on that?
Well, I thought her dress was funny because it was all roses, red roses.
No, but then someone asked her. Someone was like, "Are those roses on your dress?" And she was like,
"That was Christina."
She was like, "They're actually tulips," or I don't know. She said something like.
So going into it, the first night, people already didn't like her. She already had a target on her back.
Yeah,
which is
myself included, just because she's kind of annoying.
But wait.
And honestly, I thought that we could talk about Christina more, but I think she reacted way too explosively about the rose comment on her dress. She was like, oh my god, I hate you, LOL, JK.
Yeah.
And she was she took that very
sense. I think she probably has insecurity issues, if we're gonna actually because and then they were talking about that, and then she was like, I meant nothing by that,
she was really receptive to it, I felt like.
Yeah, she was, compared to other girls in the Bachelor, I mean, she was
she wasn't
handled
defensive.
It nicely.
Yeah.
Going on to other girls, we can get back to them.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about Madison?
Yes.
The gritty.
Yes,
that
was awful.
Okay,
first of all, I watched it and I started cringing. For everyone listening to this, as a brief synopsis of this part of the episode, basically she wants to prove that she's not serious and that she's fun enough to date Zach, and so she starts grittying as a 30-year-old woman.
And it's just
on a reality TV
show. It was very unnatural, and then but honestly he was okay, but then this is where it was very funny because it progressed from grittying, then they kissed, then she ended up crying. So think about it. She grittied back. Okay, she grittied, they kissed, and then she cried because basically Zach, I guess, wasn't really into the kiss, and then she.
No, because she has so much. Oh, I'm sorry. She has a lot of Botox. It probably felt
okay, but so Okay, so, I mean, Zach isn't really, they've been talking to each other, for 2 minutes, and Zach's I'm not into this. And then she was sobbing because,
Which I felt was a little unnecessary.
She knelt to the ground and was, her face was in her hands, and she was like, why did I come all this way? Yeah. Which, because, all of the girls, I don't know if you know this, they have to buy their own dresses and, clothes and makeup and stuff. That's not provided. And, the first...
It's a bit classist.
The first night dresses alone, the 2 people that had the matching Sherry Hill dresses, those are, over $700.
Those are, prom
But
dresses.
And they had to buy them themselves.
But some of them were... Okay, one of them, the one with, the pink sparkly dress, that looked like something you would wear to, your junior prom. I mean, I was not into that, to be honest.
I thought it was a very pretty dress. Loved the dress. Just maybe not for night 1 of... The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then going back to what's her name? Madison. Yeah, so she did end up going home before the rose ceremony. She just got kind of shushed away. She just
hot take
got sent home.
If you know someone for not even a whole day, I don't think it's worth crying over them.
No, I agree.
I think everybody has their their own feelings, but I think it was a bit
however
much.
I remember my sister telling me this a while ago because we used to watch The Bachelor together. She said that at this point in the night, the night seems like it goes by so quick, obviously because it's cut down to an episode, but the night goes from like 6 p.m. like to like 3 a.m. sometimes 4 a.m. and they're just like drinking and drinking and drinking. So by the time they're all sobbing, they're sleep deprived and had way too much to drink.
That's probably the goal.
So that's honest. I mean, it makes sense because that's how you like provide drama. But like, I feel like in a rational state of mind, you'd be like, you would tolerate it, but like,
I also think it was more the situation, not just like him, because to be honest, like he's a very average person. Like there's nothing about him that's
everyone's
like worth like.
Zach.
But like to be honest, I think it was more just the fact that she came all this way and dropped like
from where?
She dropped like 3 bands on dresses
from Fargo, North Dakota. Actually.
Yeah. But like the fact that she literally probably
paid
spent thousands
so much money. How do you? I mean, she
to get rejected after having a bad kiss.
I wonder if you can sell them though, and like.
I mean, probably.
I mean,
but like you can't.
I mean, I wouldn't really want her dress, but you know.
I don't
know. There was this one in the first episode. There was this one girl, very, very, very strange. She, on, like, talking to Zach 101, she brought a baby doll and was like, like,
can you change the diaper?
I want, like, a good father in a relationship. And asked her to change the diaper. I thought it was very strange. I forget.
Who was that?
I genuinely don't remember. Not memorable enough for me to.
But then there was Greer was the one who like
the first impression rose.
Yeah.
She didn't like do a lot for me, to be honest.
It's just because she said, I want to settle down in Austin, and you live in Austin.
So
it's just like
fabricated.
I was just like, it's just. I mean, it's The Bachelor. It's gonna be unnatural, but I think it's just like you have to like, I don't know. You have to like start out as friends, and then obviously like be in a relationship because like you just met him and you're like, I want to settle down, and my gosh.
Let's talk about entrances a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think some of them were a little bit unnecessary. Some of them, I like the ones where it's like a wholesome like little piece of your town, like whatever.
No, those are like, I brought you a coffee.
Okay, well, not like, that one.
All right.
I liked Gabby's maple syrup.
The maple syrup, yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I liked.
It was okay.
The first girl, what was her name? Hold on. She was really, really nervous. Gabby, maybe? No,
Gabby was the one with the maple syrup.
Jess. It was
Jess. One. Who was the one who was like?
She just seemed a little bit nervous.
It was very, very scripted. It was like.
They're all
it was
scripted.
No. But this was scripted, and she was very monotone. She's like, so I lost my suitcase, my dress ripped, but thank God I'm here. I'm like, that is bland.
I don't like Ariel.
That is
we can get to that.
too bland. Like you need to that. No.
We can get to Ariel, but I do think something about her I'm just not a fan of. And then I liked Kat, who is
oh my God,
why do you? She's crazy.
She's really,
just
really weird.
Cat?
Yeah.
She just
when she got down on all fours and started hissing.
That's not the one that I'm talking about.
Wait, there's two.
I'm talking about the other cat, the registered nurse.
There's two cats.
Yeah, there's Catherine.
Oh, I thought you meant the one that was like literally like she wore ears and was like kitty cat. And I was like, please.
Can we mention how Lotto came to the first group date? First episode, remember?
Oh, I didn't even know who that was.
I didn't know who that was either.
No, until they sang her one song that people know, and I was like,
Well, I knew that song.
That was when Kat,
that
other
was,
Kat, really, she was walking on all fours.
Yeah, that was weird. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Yeah, that's episode 2.
Yeah.
No, but
that's episode 2.
Can we move on?
No.
I feel like we're ready.
Not yet.
Wait.
We're still on episode 1.
Okay, then I'll save this. I'll save it for the night.
Okay.
All right.
So then there was, who else? Jess. I like Jess.
I like Jess.
Katie, upon arrival, she did not.
There's always a Katie. It's so weird.
She did not do anything for me.
Remember the Katie that was The Bachelor a couple years ago? I hated her.
Oh, I did not like her.
I genuinely could not stand her.
Tasha, though, oh my gosh.
Love Tasha.
Obsessed.
I love Tasha.
I didn't even watch her season.
I did.
Oh, I wish I regret it. I regret it, but you know.
I haven't watched a full season since probably I don't even know.
It's because the beginning episodes are just very slow.
I usually pick it up.
The last few are really good, but Bachelor in Paradise is a lot better, to be honest. But
Some of these girls, I'm looking at the cast list now. Some of these girls that are still on, I don't even remember them, and they're
There's so
still
many.
on today.
There's so many.
Yeah, but they're still on today, and I'm like, I don't even remember them even talking to Zach in the beginning. Can we talk about Zach for a little bit?
Wait, but how does he decide if he doesn't even have a one-on-one with them? He's just like, oh, you're pretty.
They don't pick the one on. Oh, well, there's certain producer plans that they keep in for the drama.
Okay.
That's what happened with probably Kat the first night, because there's no way any sane person would keep her past night.
Well, exactly. No, exactly.
But like, honestly, I think it was just and like they're labeled too. Like he probably just like
the roses.
Yeah. Because there's so many names to remember.
But how do you label a rose? Where would you?
I think it was weird that
like a
he
list.
also kissed Bailey right when she walked in. I think that was very weird.
But who initiated it though?
Him.
She said
Really?
that he did. I thought I was like, I don't know. I think he just kind of felt bad about the whole name situation, but they were like, "Oh, we have a connection already," and I was like, "You really do."
I mean, I felt for him because like, he's like, "Oh, like you said my name was Balin on live television."
Which how does he remember Balin but not Bailey?
No,
like,
but
I don't know.
you're on camera, like you slip up. I thought she was just. It's
I
just
thought
like
it was a bit of an overreaction.
Stop making everything about you. But whatever.
Who else? Brooklyn, the rodeo racer, doesn't do much for me either.
No, I like her.
They're all from the
You
South.
do?
I feel
I
like
like her.
half of them are.
I think that she has a really
from
cool
the
niche
South.
hobby. I think that she's Brooklyn's rodeo racing, like lasso. I thought that
That's her career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like how she makes money. She's like a rodeo racer. Kat being a dancer just makes so much sense.
Wait, there like so many people in the South: Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma.
A lot of them have
they're
access.
all
Georgia,
Yeah.
South Carolina, Tennessee.
Also,
Oh my God,
Christina
there's more.
Mindrell, never heard of
Texas.
her in my life, but she's apparently like
They're all.
an influencer.
They're just.
Well, when I'm looking at this cast list right now, all of them have first names, and then she's the only one with first and last name.
That's how it is when
Like,
they're
we're supposed to
talking about
remember
on the
her.
show.
Apparently,
Why
her
do-
mom's like famous.
Yeah. Wait.
Who
Why
is
does she? Why does she
I
have a last
literally
name?
don't know who she is.
Okay.
I apologize, but like I've never heard
Christina Mandrell. Oh,
of her. Are you
Let's see.
looking her up right now?
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like Zach. He doesn't really do it for me.
I just think he's so boring.
They're all boring. Like Matt, a couple of seasons. He was. You
He
know.
was looking boring. I just think I think the problem with Bachelors is that they really try hard to be like perfect and to be like someone that's like desirable for all these women. But like they lose so much of their personality that it's like
because Bachelor in Paradise. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
that's
so
so much
much
more
better.
interesting.
It's like so
because it's like they like hide themselves because they're like, oh, I want to be seen as perfect, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but you're like a big dull dud. You're sitting there and not
I really
saying
want to like
anything.
foster like honesty. Blah,
I want
blah,
a
blah.
lifelong
like
partner.
I'm
Shut
perfect.
up.
They all say the
I'm
same
perfect.
thing.
I'm honest. I'm blah blah blah.
And to get the first impression rose, I think all you need to do is reiterate their first speech that they did.
True.
And just agree to
Yeah.
all of it, and then you'll automatically.
it's
get
like
Or say a
it's,
sob
it's like
story.
it's like an agreement that they're like.
or start crying.
Oh my god! For instance, there was okay. Well, this is kind of off track, but this was in Paradise a while ago. So basically, this guy wanted to be like vulnerable with this like girl, and he was like, "Oh, like my wife died." Blah blah blah. But this was like the first time that they were meeting,
Yeah,
and then they
that's
ended
too
up
much.
kissing, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Like ditch him after he just said that like his wife died? Like
Yeah.
So that's kind of thing with this. It's like, oh, I want you to be vulnerable. So the first time I see you, you need to like give me your trauma, and then
Yeah, exactly.
It's because you're kind of rushing this. Like,
Exactly. I was gonna
obviously
note on
it's
that.
rushed.
It's
you know.
such a fast-paced environment that to keep up, you have to like be on that timeline. But some people are just not willing to like tell this
I mean,
random
as one
man their
does,
deepest,
like-
darkest secret the first time they're meeting them in a room of 30 other girls. Which is why I think the show itself is
Yeah.
flawed, because if
mean,
I'm
obvi-
telling,
yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm, well, yeah,
Yeah.
but if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling,
yeah.
if
Well-
I'm telling The Bachelor, who I've literally never met before, like, my mom died or something, like, as an example,
Or I have.
and then he sends me home the next week, now all of America knows that my mom died and I have trauma, and I don't have a
you're
boyfriend
signing.
still.
Hey, you are signing up to it. It is like a show.
That's fair, but
But I think that like now, since you can get so famous and like make so much money off of like Instagram and TikTok, like half of these people they're not here for them. They're just here to make their name a little bit bigger so that then even beyond The Bachelor, then they can get, like, sponsorships and then they make money. So, you know.
And I think that's going to be a problem in next week, too. There were previews about people not being there for the right reason.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
I haven't heard that
reasons.
one before.
Yeah,
oh my god, it's like deja vu. No.
Oh my god, I know.
I mean, I think we could move on to episode 2.
Yeah.
The big thing was that the teaser at the end of episode 1 was that, so basically, for episode 1, with the giant group date, the music artist Lotto was there, and the whole thing was, there was like a runway walk, blah, 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 and 3 prior contestants on The Bachelor, like 3 girls were there. Victoria and then Tajwan.
She was the only relevant one, Victoria.
The only thing that I remember about Tajwan was when she was in Paradise and could not stop sweating. I don't know if anybody...
Oh my gosh, wait, I remember that. But she was kind of just like an NPC, to be honest. But then
she was there for no reason at all.
Episode 2, Tajwan is there, and it's so funny. So she's basically like, they're like, why are you here? And she was like, I just like wanted to meet Zach. I just wanted something was there.
Should we talk about the date a little bit first, though? Like what the date entailed?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you can.
I thought that the date was so funny. So basically, she wanted... Lotto is her name?
Yeah.
She wanted everybody to show their, like, confident walk or whatever, so they all did a catwalk. Very hard to watch, I will say. I don't know about
when one of them, like, put Zach in the chair, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Kat was, like, crawling.
Kat was on all fours, like, purring. It was really bad.
We had, like, dancers doing who knows what.
Well, because some of them were cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And then some of them were, like, nurses, and then just like trying to like get down, and I was like,
it was like the RN, like an RN.
And then then we can talk about Tajwan. So then there's a little clip about Tajwan going, oh, if Max, like, not Max, what's that?
Zach. They all sound, it's always like Zach, Ben, Matt, it's like whatever.
So if Zach,
Ryan.
She was like, if Zach wanted me to be on his season, I would be. So fast forward to this, like, the cocktail hour at the group date. They're all fine, and somebody was like, oh, nothing can ruin this, like, relationship or whatever. Right. Well, whenever they say that, you know that something's going to happen. So Tajwan walks in, telling Zach that she wants him pretty much, that she can see a future with him, that she wants to give it a try.
It's so producer planned. The producers told her to do that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And she was rude to the girls, too.
Yeah,
so.
she really was. It was kind of funny because, I mean, you can kind of tell that the producer fed her lunch. She basically was like, so the key was to be confident that day, and honestly, each of you guys on that runway, like, sucked. And that was kind of silly of her.
She goes, it was like, painful to watch.
It was painful.
Which, like, it was. I think my problem is that she was supposed to be, like, the mentor, like, coming in, whatever, because he got the mentor of that guy who was on and was, like, is now married. Like, I thought that she was supposed to be the equivalent.
The mentorship, it's always so dumb.
Except then she, like, swoops in and tries to steal this man that, quite frankly, I can't see why she would want to do. Because, like, going back to the fact that he's
boring.
Just, like...
He's boring.
There's so many other, like...
He says, like, 3 sentences. And just repeats those.
But, hey, he's a guy, he likes football.
So she comes and was like, Zach, I want to join your season. And then Zach basically says, I want to think about it. He comes back to Tajwan and is like, I can't do this. Like, I'm already forming connections with these girls. I can't.
After 2 days.
I
digress.
I can already see them being my wife.
I know my wife is in this room.
And he doesn't feel like there would be any connection. So she leaves. She's crying.
I don't really know why she was crying, because I think that, like, if she was, like, as confident as she said that she was, which, like, I'm not saying that if you cry you're not confident. I'm just saying, like...
Whoa, let's... Hey, mental health matters.
No. I'm just saying, if she came in and she wanted to make this big deal out of that, I would have expected her to, like, treat the situation as lightly as she was in the first place.
Let's be honest. It was all a show. This is the definition of, like, a producer plan. Like,
exactly.
She would not even have the capability to, like, go on that on her own desire if it wasn't for like the producers. Like she didn't want to marry Zach. It just, I mean, if I would say, like, if the producers didn't plan half this stuff, no one would, like, there wouldn't be enough drama.
I know, but to be honest, it does say something about, like, if the producer's like, okay, I want you to go and do this, and, like, it's not, like, her character, like, she wouldn't do it. I don't know why she would on reality TV, because literally now the whole country is, like, shaming her and, like, belittling her and stuff. So, like, I just don't think, whatever she got paid is not worth it, in my opinion,
Right.
to do that.
Who got the first impression rose? Was it Catherine?
Greer? Oh, no.
No, on that.
On the
That was the
second
one.
I mean, not
thought
the
it-
first impression.
The second?
The group date rose?
The group date. It might have been Catherine.
Oh, I literally don't remember.
Wait, was this the
nurse?
second or the
Oh,
third?
yeah,
the
the
nurse.
Tampa nurse. Yeah.
Which I do
What?
like her.
I like her a lot.
What was the group date again? For the... Oh, are you talking about the runway one?
Yeah.
Because was there a group date for the second one or no?
The group date for the second, I personally felt was underwhelming. It was literally
What
like
was
a
it?
like a cocktail hour.
Okay,
I,
well,
like, don't even
that's
remember
that's not a group date. Cocktail hours are different.
Yeah, but
I think.
but that was the group date.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
That doesn't.
They all
There's
just
always a cocktail
hung
hour
out.
after the group.
Yeah, they didn't even have like a group
Alright.
date. It was
Okay,
just
so then there was okay.
I don't know.
That was there a one-on-one the second one?
No, there's only one-on-one. There was the one with Christina.
Christina.
Which, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Because I think that the producers are running out of ideas because there's only so many times you can have, like, a one-on-one in a helicopter saying that they're soaring to new heights. And, like, she was, like, surprised. She got the note and it was, like, let's, like, see our love soar. And she was like, oh, my God, I wonder what this is. Like, oh, my God, I wonder what this is. Like, it's not like they've done the same thing every single season.
the whole entire time. I was like, I would not want to be that pilot, like flying the couples around, like for the Bachelor.
Again, not getting paid enough.
Yeah.
to put up with this.
So then Christina has a date at Zach's house after, which I thought was too soon.
I thought that it was kind of unfair to her.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
This is episode 2.
Yeah, because he basically was, like, feeling guilty that he missed his mother's birthday. Probably struck a deal with the producers saying, can I go see my family if I bring one of the girls along? And they were like, sure. And so he picks Christina,
Again, like,
goes to his family, has his family time, whatever, and, like, calls it a day.
It is not, like, this is not as linear as it should be because they have they have a set aside episode, like, later in the season where they meet
Hometowns.
hometowns. Well, I guess that's for the girls. But I feel like
True.
they
still.
I'm pretty sure, like, one of the episodes they meet his family, but, like, we're jumping too many steps. Like, you don't really know her that well. Come on.
In an actual relationship, if someone, like, took me to meet their parents the first time that we were hanging out, just the two of us,
on our first.
that's a red flag.
It's a red flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's also kind of funny. Sometimes when I watch this and my brother's in there, he's like, he laughs at how, like, every single time they're like, I just don't really feel comfortable with him building other relationships with other girls. It's like, this is the show.
You
like,
did sign up for
this is the show.
That's kind of
what is the
yeah.
like, stop complaining about that.
And I do think that she wouldn't have gotten picked for the first date out of the whole show if she didn't have the biggest news to share with Zach. So
Yeah.
she is a single mother. She has a child named
Blakely May.
Blakely May.
Oh my no.
Very southern.
No.
Very southern.
Wait, what state? Tennessee.
Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee.
She has that, like, news to share to Zach, and they shared it over dinner. Zach, I don't know how he took it. I don't know if he took it. He said that he needed time to process it, which I get.
Which
it's
is
a
honest.
lot.
I appreciate it.
It's a lot. It's, yeah. And she
I did.
too.
I mean, him with the 5-year-old, I feel like he would just be, like, a bit incompetent.
Well, he's
Again,
just,
with the whole timeline acceleration.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, yeah.
wanted to, like,
I mean,
really, you know, have a few years with him and his future wife, and he wouldn't have
He's not
that.
going to end up with her. Wait, did she get sent home?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
gets sent home.
let's just
So-
say that.
They're
I
both,
did see
like,
her going
crying.
further.
They're both crying,
Zach
whatever.
is?
Zach's like, I want to see how this goes with us first, because if I don't, you know, if I like you enough, then he'd consider it more. So basically, whatever, he gives her the rose.
Yeah.
She feels good about the relationship. She feels too good about the relationship, which it was a bit shocking to her for the next episode, which we can get to a little later.
Mm-hmm.
when she gets sent home, but we can get to that later.
Yeah. Well, also, I think that the whole situation with that conversation was that she was being very mature about it. I thought they both were pretty mature about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just, like, that might have been a conversation to have, like, I don't know. Like, she had just met his entire family, and then she's, like, throwing this at him, and, like, she could have gotten sent home. Like, she could have not gotten a rose, and then I feel bad again because she had just met his entire family.
Yeah.
Which is why I think the producers kind of, like, rushed that, and I feel bad for her, genuinely. Because I think she's nice.
Even if she didn't meet his family, like, and he really was not comfortable with that, like, I don't think he would have sent her home, even if he was super uncomfortable, because she just shared, like, a big part of her life with him. And
if he did, that would
home,
have just been, like,
a super
everyone would have
rude
cried.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the thing, it's like, well, if he does, like, at the end, when he supposedly gets engaged, they're, like, just engaged, so, like, pretty much, like, 80% of the couples don't get married, and they, like, something happens. So,
yeah, exactly.
But then if they're engaged with this kid,
Jed and
I mean,
Hannah.
he's probably, like, oh, well, like, I don't know. There's not, like, more of a safety net.
I did really like her during that date. I felt like she was very mature. I think it was, like, in an uncomfortable situation. I did not like her in the beginning. In the first episode when she came in on the party bus, I was like,
yeah, I didn't like that.
I knew that she was gonna kind of be like the one planted on the show to cause the drama.
Girl, yeah.
Well, also because I think that the producers were banking on the fact that she was an influencer for name recognition.
But
recognition no one's ever heard of her.
Name recognition to who?
Apparently, anyone
can. Like, anyone can be an influencer these days. Like, you just have to. Oh, like, well, I do have 500,000 followers on. Blah, it's like, no, like, stop.
Okay, but she was in the Taylor Swift 15 music video.
What was she, like?
So
4 years old.
And apparently, she was an extra in the Hannah Montana movie.
Oh my god.
So
how old? Like, she was probably.
I don't. This is 2009.
Her aunt is apparently a singer, a famous singer.
So what was she, like, 10 years old?
Nepotism.
Yeah.
God,
I don't know. I think they were banking on her being more famous than she actually was, which is why they continually use her first and last name.
Ooh, that would be fun. A bachelor with, like, actual, like, famous people.
Imagine, like, Charli D'Amelio goes in The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Who?
Charli D'Amelio. She never would.
That would just be another,
saying.
like,
Addison
Hype
Rae.
House. Isn't that a show, Hype House?
Yeah.
That would get. Who
Never
watches that?
seen
I mean,
it.
to be
I don't know, not
like,
me.
I don't think. Yeah.
Was this the episode when he, like, spilt a lot to Jess?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
I mean, good for him for feeling comfortable to spill it.
Good for him.
He ultimately gives her the rose.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Jess.
I like Jess. I think she's genuine. I think she was very nervous the first night, which, honestly, like, I can't blame her for, but it took her a while to kind of open up, which is why, again, the people...
A while meaning what?
An
like
episode.
2 days?
No, but I mean the people that are more confident, I think, do have a leg up, because, like...
Or maybe they rehearsed, whatever. Like,
yeah.
they knew that they were gonna have this story to... It's like the quote-unquote most honest girls are just the most, like, rehearsed, honestly, like, fake girls. Or, for instance, like, when he was talking with Brianna, his whole thing was with Brianna was like, I feel like you haven't opened up to me enough. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like our interactions are, like, too stiff. But it's like, come on, like...
What is she supposed to do, like, gritty in front of him?
Yeah, but then yet, with the other girl, when Madison, I mean, like, probably too over the top, but it's like, I don't know.
Well,
it's probably just a gut it's just a gut instinct, like, oh, do I like you, do I not?
Brianna didn't strike me as somebody who was very confident. She got we already talked about how she got pretty mad over Christina.
Which, again, I don't think was warranted.
She almost seemed like she wanted, like, to use that to start the conversation with Zach. So basically she was like, I have some news to tell you before we get our conversation going. It's about someone in the house. And she was like, do you want me to tell you who?
That was funny because he was
like, no.
He was like, I don't. Like, that was, I mean, talk
I don't really care.
Talk about being honest when he was like, please. He was kind of like pushing her to, like, not say the name. Like, she was probably she was so close to saying it, and he was like, no, don't, like.
He was like, please handle it yourself.
That was funny.
There's always drama in the house, and usually, like, they look to the Bachelor to be, like, a mediator, which is so childish in my opinion.
I mean,
what? Like, if you have a problem with someone, take it up with them.
It's kind of silly, because it's, I mean, it's The Bachelor, but, what's it, like, polygamous couple. Do you know what I'm talking about? Wait, what's the, like, there's this show called Sister Wives with, like, the,
No, you have the right word.
The, like, the one husband, like, 5 wives. It's just so.
Well, where they go to him.
It's obviously dysfunctional.
I did appreciate Zach for that, because I think in the past, some people...
Like, Hannah B, oh my god.
Yeah.
Exactly. That Hannah B season.
They get too caught up with it.
A lot happened with the guys.
So, but Brianna, like, I didn't like her for that.
Yeah.
I also think that she was really caught up about not having his validation, and so she wanted his validation about something, like, I'm coming with information, can you just say, like, oh yes, like, you deserve to feel upset about this, and then he didn't give it to her, and so then she's like, oh, I'm lacking that validation again, and it's like, okay, but, like, you need to please calm down. It's really not that serious.
Yeah. So,
yeah. It's kind of crazy, I feel like. Or how old's Zach? He's like...
I genuinely don't know.
Wait, I'll look it up.
I will say that they've gotten a lot older after... Because, like, Demi, do you remember her from Colton's season?
Was she 21?
She was genuinely 21.
What's the bare minimum age? Probably 21.
I think 21.
That's 21. You
if
could
you're
be...
looking
You
for
could
an
be
engagement.
Wait. You could be a junior in college and be 21.
Yeah.
So, Jess is 23, and that's, like,
and
crazy.
Then Zach
because
is
that's
26.
Like, 4 or 5 years over us. Like, imagine, like, 4 years from now. Like,
no.
I think 26 is a good age for this show, because any older, and it's frankly sad, any younger,
it's sad.
Like, if you're 30.
Right.
If you're, like, 30 going on the show, then it's... Okay, I think the golden is, like, 25 to 29.
I think 28.
25 to 29.
27.
Yeah. That's within the range.
Anyway.
But any younger, and it's, like...
21.
Too dramatic, like...
It's funny. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
how old is he?
Vanessa apparently is 23. No idea who that is.
Who is she?
Genuinely no idea.
How is she?
Did she go home the first day?
She went home first night.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
God. What about, how about if the first episode, The Bachelor has Bachelor has full control over, like, how many people he sends home, so he could cut down, like, 10 people, and then maybe he would, like, get to know them quicker.
I think that's a hot take. I think they start off with too many people.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no need for 30
You're kind of saying the...
No, but I'm just saying,
a little bit.
Every single time that this season is, like, or the show starts, how am I supposed to keep track of all these people? Like, I can't. I don't even know half of them still.
Yeah.
I know the relevant ones. And I already know if they're not going to be relevant because their entrances are, like, the little clips that's just, like, whatever. It's not even a full segment. Imagine coming all the way on to get, like, a clip of an entrance and then going home.
But for instance,
Justice
like, wait.
What's
her... No, Vanessa, did she even
Justice
have
for
an...
Vanessa.
Did she even
I didn't even
have an
see
entrance?
her
I don't
intro.
think she got any.
Again, like, poor girl. Can we talk about that one person who licked him?
Yeah, who was
and
that?
Her name was Lekka. And so her
Lekka?
thing... Lekha. Lekka.
No.
And so it was like
How did I miss
words.
this? How did I miss this?
She literally, like, licked him.
She
in
left
her
first
entrance.
night.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
Wait, that's kind of...
How did you miss
He
this?
did
I was
not.
genuinely
He did
cringing.
not like that lick.
Genuinely, I couldn't.
Should we
I
jump
couldn't
to
watch it.
episode 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
okay.
can talk a little bit about episode 3. There was...
To preface, Maddie watched this and Avery and I did not.
So
Yeah.
I'll give a little bit of background. So there were 2 one-on-ones and 2 group dates. Maybe 1 group date. I honestly, they all blend together. So the first one-on-one was with Katie. She's an ER nurse. I can't decide if I like her.
Wait.
Katie?
Sorry to interject. She spells her name Kaity.
Yeah.
That is so wrong.
Well, it's because there's a Kat, a Katie, and a Catherine. So she probably has to, like...
I wish I had an original name. Oh my god.
So Katie, they have a one-on-one in like the Natural Historical Museum, and
Which again, me and Katie were talking earlier. This is the plot of Friends.
Yeah.
It is.
This is the plot of
and
Friends.
Ross and Rachel.
so they have a one-on-one date. He like asks her what she wants in a guy. She just says a good man. This is
A
Wait,
good man.
wait, that's funny. The bare minimum for like men. I
she literally said the bare minimum.
it's me. You're describing me.
Like what?
He's like, I think the world of you. I think you
Oh my
deserve more than
God.
bare minimum. And that was literally all they showed of the conversation.
That's silly.
Zach doesn't
Like-
want the date to end. And he asks if they wanted
I mean, and one thing led to another, and you can kind of predict what happened.
and then they go, and then there's like a tent and whatnot. Do with that what you will.
Like sipping of the 10 things in the previews told me all I needed to know.
We're gonna keep this PG. This is Franklin High School newspaper.
So she comes back. Obviously, the girls are a little bit jealous.
Just a hair. Just a hair.
Just a wee
They were
bit.
jealous when
Just a
Christina met
smidgen.
his family. So like imagine like well, 'cause
Wait, was
also,
this the same girl?
No,
Oh, okay.
but they didn't
Wait,
know
what
that
happened?
Christina.
What happened first?
They didn't know Christina because they didn't know that she
This
met
is
his
episode
family.
Same episode too.
No, this
No,
is episode
different.
3.
Episode 2.
Oh, episode 3.
Episode 2. She meets his family.
Okay. I don't know how
Zach
this-
tells them in like a big group setting, like, oh, like she met my family, and
That
she
was
was
so
like,
funny.
oh, I haven't
I
I
told
haven't
them about
told them
that.
that. They were all looking around.
Yeah, that was funny. But then the second one was a different girl.
So, yeah. So they were all really jealous. But everybody likes Katie. I think they like Katie more than they liked Christina. So they like actually were like happy for her. Then there was a group date, which is like the annual Bachelor football game.
Yeah.
And they were basically the team that won was Christina's team with Bailey, Catherine, a few other girls. Obviously,
The relevant ones.
The relevant ones.
In other words.
Bailey, yeah, I said Bailey.
Yeah.
That is just always so funny to watch, to be honest, because they just showed Christina, who does CrossFit, just tackling everybody.
CrossFit. or like the
She's like a Pilates instructor,
she does,
and she's like
she does,
going at
Soul
it.
Cycle.
Yeah. So
Like power to her. Like I don't.
They
I'm not
always
judging.
do. Wait, was it flag football?
No, it's just regular. It was
Yeah, it was
They
tackling.
always
physical.
do. Okay, why do they always? Why do they always? That's just. I feel like that's repetitive. In other seasons, I feel like every single
Because it's always a
Bachelor
hit. Because
season-
it's always really funny seeing the girls actually tackle
I don't-
each other
I
to the
don't-
ground
I-
for
it,
this
like,
mediocre man.
No, it stresses me out. Like, and then, well, I guess, okay, football's like, it's fine. But sometimes they put them in, I don't know which season, but they put them in a wrestling ring. And they had to wrestle
Oh, yeah,
one
I
on one. That
remember
was
that.
a bit
that was
much.
intense.
Well,
That was, yeah.
Genevieve
Remember on
actually.
Tasia's season when they all like boxed each other? That was bad.
But then,
Yeah.
but those were, yeah.
Well, those were guys, but
Always
still.
gets
Well-
physical. It's like, I don't know, it's like, ugh.
Genevieve actually ended up with a broken arm. So
that's actually.
They took that seriously.
That just makes me laugh. Actually.
She is a nurse. She can heal.
They're all nurses.
They're all
Oh
nurses.
my god.
There's so many nurses.
a lot of
It's
nerves.
crazy.
Why are they all in healthcare? Like, even
I
if they're
know.
not a nurse, it's like healthcare strategist.
It's either they're in
like,
healthcare or
child
they're
and
an
family
or they're an
therapist,
influencer. It's
nursing
like-
student,
Nursing.
neonatal nurse, medical sales rep, insurance marketer. Do they find like the most boring jobs on planet Earth and
And
just
the
like
thing is, like these.
and offset it with a rodeo person and hope that
Yeah.
it's like
and cross their fingers, hope for the best.
So yeah, that date happened.
Wait. Sorry, healthcare strategist. That even doesn't.
Well, we'll
That
get
doesn't
to
make-
her actually.
Oh,
so,
Allie. Okay.
Allie.
So Allie actually had the next one-on-one, which weird because I don't think we've seen much
wait,
of
was
her.
this
No.
the which one was the museum one?
Katie.
Okay, got it.
So
That's-
Katie, going back to Katie, it was a very awkward conversation that they had.
can't believe
Not that it was an awkward conversation, but it was a very awkward dynamic between the two of them. Katie just kind of like sits there and whispers, and they both kind of whisper to each other.
And it's
Was
not,
it because they were in a museum?
Wait, is it caught on the mic or no?
Yeah, but it's like you
Like
never
ASMR,
whispering,
like
or she'll silent laugh.
Yeah.
It was just awkward, but whatever.
I did get that vibe from
Video.
Just Day One too, though. Maybe
Yeah.
she's just nervous.
Yeah, but you
Which
do
fair.
know
Aren't we
she could be
all?
soft spoken. So
She
then,
smokes?
Outspoken.
Okay. Sorry.
So then there's Allie, who goes on the next one on one date. This was so weird. All of a sudden, there was a knock on the door and a wedding dress comes. Yeah, just like that. They all jump like they always do.
Oh my
and a wedding
God.
dress
Why
comes.
does this? No.
So she wears a wedding dress to the date.
From the
my
producers
God.
did this?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This is so dumb. Sorry.
And then he shows up in like a suit. They go skydiving in those outfits.
Always skydiving.
Why is she
yeah.
skydiving in a wedding dress?
Exactly. I don't know what the point of the wedding was.
It's not very-
Like, they didn't even like pretend to get married. It was very.
It's not a very
embarrassing.
secure outfit to like.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah,
honestly,
that's
if I
weird.
was on The Bachelor and I had to go skydiving, I would leave right then and there. Personally, me, I'm scared of heights.
I would love to see you on The Bachelor. I feel like that would be so funny. No, I wanted and Avery too. Like
No.
I
You
feel
could not pay
I
me
feel
enough.
like no, Avery would just be like. I feel like all of these girls are just like too dumb for like even the producers. But Avery would just like she wouldn't fall for that. She would just
What about
be like,
me?
No, you would fall for that. Avery would be like
I would
Avery
fall
be
for
like,
that, she said.
Avery would be like so like smart about it and be like
That's such a
and be like,
compliment.
I'm not giving him my trauma day one and like
No, and then he just sent me home for not being vulnerable enough.
Yeah.
So Maddie will
No, and
ultimately
then
win anyway.
you would just fall under like all the other NPCs.
Me, I'd be one of those.
I'd be the next
Hey,
Vanessa.
hey,
They'd be
you're
like
just-
this
you're
Avery
just-
person who
You would just be an NPC just because you're normal. How about all the
What
NPCs?
about me? I wouldn't be
all
the normal
well,
one.
I think all the NPCs. I just think they're normal.
Again, justice for
Hey,
Vanessa.
they're normal. So
And me, Katie,
Vanessa,
Vanessa,
the restaurant manager, is just she's getting nothing.
Who?
Vanessa.
Katie, people
From
are gonna hear this
Louisiana.
and they're gonna come up to me and be like, "I'd like to see
I don't
you."
think
and-
many people are
We're gonna get to this
I don't
point.
even think. I think people are gonna. If you're, hey,
They're gonna
if you're at
after
this,
the fantasy
if
suite.
if you're at minute 41 minutes and 27 seconds,
Then
good
you're
job.
a real one.
You are.
Maybe I think I'll probably.
Mr.
should
Layton,
I-
if you're watching this,
Should I? Maybe I should.
Thank you.
I feel like I'll repost this on my Instagram story. So maybe.
Wait, we're
if
not
you're-
talking about
if you're,
episode
wait,
3.
sorry. But
have to-
if I do end up posting this on my story, and whoever I know maybe on this, hopefully, if they.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
anyway.
Katie's gonna post it.
We have 2 more minutes of
we have
allotted time.
2 minutes. Avery has things to do.
Wait, no way.
I apologize.
Okay, so then episode 3. Let's
Episode 3, Christina gets sent home because ultimately Brianna goes up to Zach and is like, "I'm leaving, but before I leave, I'd like to tell you about Christina." So basically throws Christina under the bus. Zach feels like Christina is going to ruin his relationships and girls are not going to feel comfortable expressing themselves to Zach. So he sends Christina home, which I was shocked about. But yeah.
I was also shocked when you told me that because genuinely, she was my front runner. Like I had her
Yeah.
going all the way.
Yep.
She was my
Where
I
is
would
she?
have bet money because first of all, she met his family. Second of all, they had the whole like rendezvous
Okay.
with like,
Yep.
you know, she told him about his daughter.
Yep.
I mean, whatever. She
Yeah,
told
I know
you
you
know
mean.
what you mean.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, like the next episode, she's just vanished. Like she's gone.
Yep.
She just like disintegrates.
And now we're left with
Oh.
all these people that I frankly
Alright.
don't think are as interesting as she
Yes,
is.
she was interesting, and
yeah.
I'm surprised this producers let him.
I want to
Take
meet
her off
these
of it.
producers. I think they're like, you know, I think you
Yeah.
have to be a little bit psychotic to like be a Bachelor producer, but you know,
So,
Probably pays well.
to each their own.
Yep. So
It pays well.
it pays
You
well.
like-
Can we talk about how big this mansion is? Like,
Yeah.
they're
Wait, where is it?
loaded.
Isn't it somewhere
LA.
tropical? Really?
Yeah.
It's
not
Remember
on
they
a
flew
beach?
over the Hollywood sign?
No.
I thought it was on a beach.
No, because they go on dates internationally.
Yeah.
They just couldn't for a while because of COVID.
Which, if I was on
Oh,
The
wait, I
Bachelor, I would just
remember.
want to make it to those international dates, like
yeah,
travel
if
the
I was
world.
on
Wait, but
if I
how
was the
the-
Bachelor during like
Do they
Michelle's
spend the
season,
night?
that's just the teacher. Her name is Michelle,
Yeah.
right? That's just like sad.
They probably
Mhm.
spend the night. Do they spend the night in like Europe, for instance?
They
Or is
spend
it
like
just
the whole
a
week.
day?
Yeah, they're there for a while. They like
Till,
travel
the
all around.
end of a rose ceremony.
The budget is big, Katie.
Yeah,
Like,
they make.
Wait, no.
Bang.
But wait, but I thought it was just like one-on-one. So how are they there
No,
for
there's
that?
there's
the
group
whole
dates.
like the whole cast picks up and
wait,
goes
each
to like
episode is in a different location.
Katie, you've seen
Wait,
this
no, but I bulk of my Bachelor watching was in quarantine when they couldn't do that. So
Okay.
that's why I'm a
Yeah,
little
no.
bit off.
Gotcha.
Before,
Thank you,
Keter
thank you.
season. Oh, what was the one where they like had to eat like snails in like France and like
Yeah,
what,
that
they like
was-
do like funny like well it's not
that was
funny, to be
Colton's
honest, but,
season.
like,
I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of like,
like Demi and like all that whatever.
that's a big
So-
ecological footprint right there.
They all
flying,
travel
casually flying from Asia to Europe. Sorry, Miss
Okay,
K.
I
If you're,
think- I
Miss-
think we're
hey,
getting-
hey,
I
Miss
think
K,
we're getting
Miss
a little
K,
off
if you're
topic.
listening, Miss K, if you're listening.
K's not listening.
I'm thinking about the ecological influences
Footprint.
and implications.
Okay, so if you made it this far,
Good job.
good job. We appreciate
I don't think
you.
many people will, but gold star.
We should make this a weekly thing.
We
with
will
each
make this a
with each
weekly thing.
episode.
This
we'll
one
try our best.
is a long one because we did have to recap.
I think
3
typically.
weeks.
I mean, typically we should cap it at like 25.
Yeah, but the rest will just be weekly. We appreciate you guys for listening. We will see you
We'll
next
see you next
week.
week.
Bye.
Bye.